Ben Sebastian here, curator of the Sonic Symphonic podcast, composer of the Kalasin series of albums. More links about me below. So, okay, what am I doing here today? Well, it's been an interesting few days in Planet Sebastian, I suppose. Friday, I had a day off work and I went to see Gioli and Asia, a pair of sort of instrumentalists slash DJs, sort of techno, trancey, melodic type of whole blend. They've really got their own vibe going on. I went to see them in London, of course. That didn't see me leave London until a bleary-eyed 8 o'clock in the morning, at which point I got back home about 10, and then work called me up, the forsaken employer, and it's like, one of our chefs has walked out, and then Muggins here went straight from no sleep into an all-day, all-night kind of shift, back very, very late at night, wake up, go to work again, and I've kind of woken up. And man, again, I've got work a bit later, but I am beat and I am behind schedule. But it's all been worth it because, you know, it's great to embrace different styles of music and different takes on things. Now, this brings me to Baklava Express. Now, Baklava Express is a New York City-based Middle Eastern fusion project led by oud player Josh Kaye. You have other members as well. We've got a violinist, Daisy Castro, guitarist Max O'Rourke, James Robbins on bass, and Jeremy Smith on percussion. The band performs original music influenced by traditions of the Arab world, Turkey, Greece, Armenia, as well as jazz, flamenco, rock, and Eastern European folk music. So they say that their influences are kind of vast and wide. They listed a bunch of bands in their submission to me, such as In Flames, Dream Evil, Nocturnal Rites. I have given this album a bit of a whirl, and I've selected 3 tracks to kind of sort of introduce you to them, and something that I feel is gives off a fair representation of what these guys are all about. So yeah, let's dive straight in with the first track, The Same River Twice. didn't that just transport us all the way somewhere sort of far into the east? It's I love this kind of stuff. You know, it's stuff I kind of sort of try to replicate and add into some of the crazier kind of the stuff that I write, but nothing to this level. Absolutely supreme playing all round. And as I love, what I loved about this is you can hear the vibrations of the strings. It's almost like you're hearing the instrumentation breathe in between sort of phrases and notes and sections, and it makes it just feel that much more real and warmer. And it's so easy to pick a VST and select an instrument of choice. So, you know, maybe an instrument you've never even heard of, can't even pronounce, and have known nothing about its range or its ability or its nuances, and you can go along and you convince yourself that you've created something quite, you know, sort of authentic sounding. But when you actually sit and listen to it laid out in this format, it's something quite special. It's something quite beautiful indeed. So the next track I'm going to play is called DAVKA. Now, it appears to be a word that's used in modern Hebrew, although it actually comes from Aramaic sort of root, and it kind of means to study thoroughly, although that's probably not the most perfect translation, because the word thoroughly or precisely is also sort of transformed to mean like this and not in any other way. So perhaps it's to study with, I don't know, with commitment, with purpose, with, you know, in the only way possible. I don't know. I'm not a linguistic, but this is DAVKA. just to absolutely butcher Western musical theory and reduce it to a simple form. One thing I find when listening to these styles of music, well, Eastern music, is the ability. Like we work with like major. We're really watering it down here. Major happy sounding and minor sort of more mournful, sad sounding. What I find when I listen to music of Eastern influence is you can have these melodies and these structures, and just the way their scaling is completely rearranged and has all these different harmonics and sort of semitones and touches and flares. It could be quite a happy and mournful at the same time. It's a unique element that I always think about when listening to particularly sort of strings. It can be quite an upbeat percussive thing going on, but you've got these very sort of like a mournful sounding sort of string going on. So there you go. That's just an observation. This is a comment that I like, and I've probably phrased it completely the wrong way when it comes to a theoretical kind of context. But yes, and then there's the percussionist as well. Okay, so drumming in our traditional music we listen to, I'm not saying it's not complicated, because by hell I couldn't do it. But when you have a hardcore percussionist like Baklava Express have, or a sound to have, it's funny. It'd be like there's this 1/16th note that appears in the whole of the piece, and the percussionist just goes, "Well, I know exactly what I need for that," and roots around and pulls out something like 2 bits of wood with a string on it and goes bing, and then you never hear it again in the piece. It just appears once. Fantastic sort of imagination and knowledge to go right. Okay, that's it. That little bit of a touch there. Put that there. Go off over here. I love it. I love the way that this is all constructed. And it's definitely not sort of copycat style. These guys know their influences. They know their instruments. They know the nuances, and they're presenting it as an art form in exactly the way it always was and should be and could be. Very interesting group, and very enjoyable to listen to. And then finally, I suppose we'll move on to the third track, which I really quite like this. This is Up to Us. Such a nice touch. I love this. I was so ready for that to carry on. Well, there you go. So that was, my favorite sort of slices from the DAVKA album by Baklava Express. I'm gonna like post a bunch of links and stuff below. Do check them out. Like, they look really cool. They have a great image. They have a great sound, and yeah, it's been nice to excuse me. It's been nice to step out of the boundaries of, you know, double pedal heavy guitars screaming and songs of coming into the darkness and such like. It's been nice to have something quite uplifting, and I hope you've enjoyed the experience. And I must say it was the perfect antidote on the train home from London after a very long, very heavy night out. And because of when we go to concerts and gigs and stuff, they form certain experiences and memories that are lodged in sort of the significant areas of significance, and so this not only going to that concert but the journey back home and this album will always trigger such fond memories, and yeah, I look forward to giving it a whirl again. It's epic, absolutely beautifully crafted stuff. The group should be absolutely proud of themselves, and I wish them all the very best of successes.